This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Let's get right into the news. All right, so we got Kanye West, and he's refusing to pay producers off the Vultures album. I mean, you can't be more of a piece of ish, okay? He, now he's like, are they all banding together? Let's see how this goes. So various producers who worked on the projects, 1 and 2, with Ty Dolla $ign, say they've yet to be compensated. The first volume was released in February. The second dropped in August. We have clients who've produced music on Vultures and still have not been paid for their services, even though the albums have been released. Music attorney Bob Celestin. Per the outlet, presently we have no idea when payment will be made, which is so unfortunate and unfair. You would think Ye would be more sensitive to this issue because he is a producer. Exactly. 10 producers altogether. Wow. We have no recourse besides to try to take him to court, but that's costly. Legal claims against Ye don't really seem to go anywhere because he doesn't. It's hard to attach to his assets, I'd assume, you know. I'm showing y'all this to let y'all know how many vultures are in the music industry itself, and people are fighting over crumbs. Carnival made $47,000 in publishing. These guys are old and don't have no talent, but they use young guys' sound. Okay, that's a stretch. Okay, that's a stretch. Okay, saying that Kanye has no talent because he's old. Like, come on. Who said this? Who said this? A producer said this. Digital Nas. Yeah, I understand you're mad, but let's not talk foolish. Yeah, Kanye, you're a horrible person for this. Dude, you got to pay people what they charged. Otherwise, don't do the song. Just because he's Kanye and he's like, yo, release independent album, man. Like, he's trying to probably use that in independent stuff. Like, it's independent. When it's not, it's half independent. Atlantic does have their hands in it because of Ty Dolla $ign. But listen, man. If you don't pay people, you know what? People should just stop working with Kanye. Just stop. He's out of his mind. Just leave him alone. Let him do whatever he's doing. He can do all this stuff on his own. He doesn't need to work with producers. He just needs writers, and he's got those in house. So let him make his own beats again. You know, if he ain't gonna pay nobody, let him make his own beats. Andrew Schulz, weird take on Kendrick. Kendrick dissed him first, and he says, you know, if you're a white comedian, I don't want to hear you joking about no black women, right? Okay. So then, which he's saying, people make fun of white people, you know, like, it's just, it goes across, it's comedy, you know? It's not, and nobody's like downplaying anyone. Then Peter Rosenberg opens his mouth. Peter Rosenberg is like, oh, since when are you into hip-hop? We'll say the same thing about Stephen A. Smith and everybody else who tries to get in here and talk about issues, and they've never even Rosenberg hasn't really gone from the ground up. He wasn't going around, you know, small clubs, DJing and all that. He got right in with Hot 97. He kind of is like I call him, what do you call those kids? Those granola kids that are in the complex and everything. They're like, well, I think that, you know, caviar goes with Kendrick Lamar's new album. He's one of those like hipsters that got to the game. But he does like underground. I'll give Peter Rosenberg this. He does like appreciate underground music and everything. And, you know, he was around Cypher Sounds, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for Cypher Sounds because Cypher Sounds really did work his way up through Fat Beats and everything. If you ain't go to Fat Beats when, you know, and you're up there, if you're around like 35 and up, and you ain't go to Fat Beats and you're from the city, you aren't going to the spots. If you didn't go to what was that club's name? SOBs, throw shows and stuff. I mean, I know how 97 eventually started throwing shows there, but I used to throw shows with like nonfiction and Infamous Mob. We had a release party there. Like, I put out album. I didn't put out the Green album, but I put out the Infamous Mob album with them. Did the DVDs with all of them. I did Core Megas DVD, nonfiction Green DVD. I worked my way up from the bottom, is what I'm saying. Like, I started with like backpack and super like underground street rap, and worked my way into working with like prodigies and stuff like that. And I have respect for that's why I have a lot of respect for French Montana. We both came up in the DVD days, and he hustled his way to where he's at now. You can give him his criticism, but you can't take away his hustle. And that's what Peter Rosenberg is trying to say. But Andrew Schulz, yeah, I don't know. The only reason he's talking about Kendrick is because Kendrick talked about him. He's basically taking that shot at him. And he talks hip-hop stuff when he's on Charlemagne's podcast with him and Charlemagne. I'm not a huge fan of the one with him and Charlemagne. I like the Flagrant podcast because they talk about everything. I like it. But, of course, Punch TDE, which Kendrick's not even on TDE anymore, But, he keeps... This is the only chance TDE gets involved. Like, wait. I know as a black man who's involved in hip-hop music that we are a bit slow and don't really understand sarcasm and humor. But did my guy just say he went to sleep with Dot? I'll agree with him on this. Andrew Schulz. That wasn't even really funny. It was kind of spooky. I get the joke he was making that Kendrick's so tiny he could do anything to him. But you should have just talked about just slapping him to the ground or something, because Kendrick tries to front like he's 5'5". He's 5'2". He's 5'2". Standing next to Taylor Swift, who's 5'10", you could see. And I've seen Kendrick in person before. He's 5'2". Which is nothing wrong. He can't help his height. But, it was a funny joke. It was a way to get back into it. What else did Peter Rosenberg say? Kendrick Lamar's been uplifting black women his whole life. No, he hasn't. You obviously don't... You're not critical enough of people you're listening to. Just like you can't say Drake is the best guy ever. He's not. He's treated some people like garbage, Peter Rosenberg says, and Kendrick calls out Schulz for running down black women. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Peter Rosenberg is super woke. Super woke. Yeah, he's weird. He's like unhinged woke. It's like he's ashamed to be white. That kind of woke. Which is like, dude, just respect people for being who they are, and be colorblind. You don't have to go extreme. Treat people right, like that's what I always look at. Treat everyone how you would want to be treated, and there won't never be a problem, That's how life should be. It doesn't operate like that, obviously, because everybody has stereotypes. Even in a country where there is no white people, then they start going by shades. There's always a hierarchy system that shouldn't exist, but it does. With stereotypes. But anyways, Schulz responds by saying, "Oh, because rappers are so pro women." True. Schulz is no different than Bill O'Reilly. That's what Peter Rosenberg says. With a nonsense. Peter Rosenberg is probably one of the most. He's lucky. High 97 put him, because with that High 97 he was able to leverage his WWE stuff and everything else. I don't hate Rosenberg. I think certain things he goes too far in certain things. I like that he shows love to a lot of underground acts and stuff like that. I do appreciate that. Schulz is out of pocket though. I'll agree with that. Schulz is out of pocket. Like, it's just like, dude, you went a little too far with the joke. Like a lot too far. 50 Cent details. He gets on camera on show. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but he gets on there and details what happens behind the Super Bowl. Basically talked about Jay-Z, trying like the competitive nature of Jay-Z. As a man that let's see. Responses, man. People can't take a breath without mentioning Jay-Z. That's what people say in the comments. That man takes care of his family and stays out the way. No, he doesn't. He gets involved in everybody's business, and he's treated like with kid gloves with a lot of these companies, like with people like Jack Dorsey, who runs Square. You know, that man takes care of him and stays out the way, and Cam don't even need the clicks. Why everybody acting clueless to why if Hove tried to block 50 from performing in the Super Bowl? 50 keep his name in his mouth. No, stop, okay? You guys don't understand the maniacal things Jay-Z does behind the scenes and just watches things. Like, he disrupted everything at Rockefeller and destroyed it for his own good. But think of all the people that lost careers and jobs because of that. 50 Cent said, our culture's competitive. It is. Again, I think where it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Right now, he's not even competing for a slot. He don't have a new song out, but he wants to be on top 10 or top 5, and you're still competing? That doesn't make sense. What are we competing for? From there, he recalled his feud with Fat Joe and explained that it got to a point where he couldn't even remember why we were beefing. Yeah. He says he added these things should dissolve naturally over time, but it doesn't with Jay-Z. Exactly. Jay-Z's just super competitive to the end. He won't even help Dame Dash out. Dame Dash took a lot of risks with him. It is what it is. And Joe Budden details when he turned down a Drake feature because I do remember he caught Drake early. I talked to Drake early too, right after it was comeback season. That was the one with the Pico, right? I talked to Drake around that time. And I tried to get Khaled to sign Drake when he was kind of messing with Wayne a little bit. I was like, you should really like get involved with Drake at least. Khaled didn't see the vision until later, but I just saw that what was going. Like, when you're tapped in, and it's a rare moment, and Joe Budden was tapped in around that, obviously. He caught Drake around that time, and Drake gave him a hook, and it was like, he was like, nah, I wanted to bring him into my world, so I denied the hook. And he says, so dumb, just like J. Cole was probably dumb not to take the hit record. Yeah, sometimes we make dumb moves out of ego or what you envision. You should take it and be open to everything. And don't let your ego stop you from your blessings. Joe Budden could have made a lot of money off that. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.